recording.
कर दिया भाई कर दिया. So in the last class we have discussed about the set and dictionary where we have seen different methods or for the set as well as for the dictionary. है ना? Now in this today's class we are starting with the new topic. Okay, so that is object oriented programming. So before starting this object oriented programming paradigm, I just want to ask from you people also, what is object oriented programming and what is this, how it is different from the other programming paradigm? Or so can anyone tell me? Just yes please. No. Okay, so in the object oriented programming actually we are talking about the object. Okay, so when the programming paradigm is based on the object and it is everything we are doing with the object, then we are saying that's why we are saying it as object oriented programming. Before this programming we are working with the procedural oriented programming. Okay, so how this paradigm is different from the procedure oriented programming, or how we can realize that it is a procedure oriented programming and it is a object oriented programming. Okay, so first of all I want to ask from you people that what is the programming paradigm that earlier you are writing? Suppose I ask you to write a program for computing a factorial of a number or whatever other things I want to ask you. So, or I ask you to write a program to perform some different arithmetic operations like, so how you are going to write? You can either write a single line code where you can write like, if I'm taking two value a and b as an input, and then you can perform c equals to a plus b addition and d equals to a into multiplication, like that simple procedure you can write, or simple line by line you can write that code. Okay, one way to write these things, and another way you can create a procedures for these codes. Like if you want to perform addition operation, then you can create a function or for this. How we can create like def and add, we are creating a one function and then we are passing two argument, then I'm performing addition operation, then I'm returning it. So okay, returning c. Okay, so whenever I want to perform addition operation, then I can call this function add, and I can pass some value here 4 comma 5, and then we can store result in R, and then we can print this result like that. Okay, similarly you can also write the procedure of function for the some multiplication, def multiplication, like multiplication you can write and you can pass two arguments here. Okay, and then you can perform multiplication operation on two variable, and then you can return the result. So that you can do, and the same thing you can do here to compute the result, and then you can to print the result where after calling this multiplication function. Okay, so here in the previous earlier programming, what we are doing, we are writing a procedure. Actually procedure means functions, है. So this programming paradigm based on the procedural, where we are writing a, where we are performing any task by writing a procedure. For every task we need to write a one procedure, and then we are calling that procedure in a one main module. Like we can say whenever we are writing this procedure, and we want to call this multiplication as well as addition or some other functions, then we need to specify like add somewhere. If you are writing a code inside this function, then code is called as a function body, and if you are writing a code outside this function, that is called, that body will be first executed.
Sir,
Or
we
the
are not sharing
statement.
the screen, sir.
Hello.
You are not sharing
Sir,
the
आप
screen.
Okay, just a minute, just a minute. Okay, okay, so no issue.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Okay, so here I have written just if you want to perform some arithmetic operation, then you can take this a and b as an input, and then you can write c equals to a plus b, and you can perform these operations like by writing code in this way. Okay, or second thing, you can write a functions like def add a comma b, c equals to a plus b, and return c. Okay, then you can call this function in order to execute this code. Okay, similarly you can do this things for the multiplication. Okay, but what will happen and how this procedure or how this function will be executed? if you want to execute this function, you need to call these function in a some main module. So all the function, all the different kind of functions are combinedly associated or called with some main function. Like main function will be the main code where we are calling this multiplication function, addition function. Here we are calling outside the addition function or outside the multiplication function. So this is called main module. Okay, so main is calling addition, or it is calling multiplication, or some other function. Okay, it is calling. Sometimes it may be also possible that if you want to perform some other kind of operation, like you want to compute factorial or some other function, other things, then you can create a one function, general function in the main function. Then inside that function you can perform several sub operations. For sub operation you can also create some other kind of function that will be called. So here you can see one hierarchical structure is shown here, where different methods are associated and or represented in the hierarchical manner. So main function is calling the addition function or this some another kind of function, then this function is calling some other kind of function or some sub functions or some procedures. Okay, so this is actually where we are coding or writing a program according to the procedure. Though this programming paradigm basically called as a procedural oriented program. Okay, where we are focusing mainly focus on the writing the procedure for performing any operation. Okay, so that programming approach is called procedure oriented programming. Okay, in the procedure oriented programming you have also visualized that if I'm writing a one variable, like in the def function, suppose I write here some variable above this function. Initial value of sum is 0, multiplication is a variable, multiplication initial value is 0. If I'm using this variable inside this function, then we can write some. Okay, we can write some. There is a no need to return this value, and we can write here multiplication. There is a no need to return value. We can directly print this value after calling this function. We can directly print sum. As when this function is called, so this body will be executed. Then whatever the result we have performed here, that result will be stored in this global variable. Is it okay? Or the value of the global variable is updated. But in this case, the local variable will be created and the value will be stored in the local variable. This value will not be updated as in the Python. If I write here global, like global, and global sum. Okay, in this case, this sum will be created as a global variable. So where you can utilize this sum variable all around the program or throughout the program. Anywhere you can utilize this program or any function, either this function or this function or any other function can utilize this global variable inside the program. So in the program, we are having a global variable. So variable basically store the information or data. So that's why it is called members or data values. Okay. So data basically, if a global data in the program, then this global data can be accessed by any of the functions. So, but if I want to restrict the access of this global data inside some other function, like here addition function can access this sum variable, but this multiplication function cannot access this sum variable. Then how we can prevent the access of this sum variable inside the multiplication function? Is there any way to prevent the access of this sum variable inside the multiplication function? Yes. Can we prevent? Yes. बताओ भाई. हेलो. Yes. कोई
सर
बोल नहीं
एक
रहा.
क्वेश्चन रिपीट करिए.
In the question I am writing, like here I want to perform some result. I want to compute result with the addition function. Okay, so in this addition function I want to perform the addition on a and b. Okay, apart from this a and b, I want to perform the addition with some variable. There is a some variable here. I am declaring this some variable, sum equals to 10 value I am providing here. Okay, okay, this sum variable I want to perform the addition here with the result r, and then I want to print this r or return the r, whatever we can do. Okay, Similarly, I want to write another function, def multiplication. Okay. Inside this multiplication, I want to pass a and b as argument. Okay. But inside this, I am writing r equals to a into b. But unfortunately, I incorrectly mentioned here sum in the multiplication. Okay. And then I have printed this r here. Okay. And I'm printing, or I'm calling this both the function here, add. Okay. And then multiplication. Okay. With some values of a and b. A equals to 3 or 4, whatever you can give. Okay. Or b equals to 5. Okay. So now I'm passing this value here, a comma b, and then I'm passing also here a comma b. Then you can see the output here, 19 and 200 I am getting. But here you can see some variable I have added here, but I don't want to use this sum variable here, or I want to restrict the access of this sum variable inside the multiplication function. It means if any programmer write this sum function inside this multiplication function, then programmer will get an error. If programmer incorrectly or in programmer forgot to use this or incorrectly write this sum here inside the multiplication function, even not this multiply with, if you use this by in the print function directly sum, then you will get an error. Here we are getting 10, there we are not getting error. But some, we want the access of sum inside the add only, or some cannot be accessible outside this add, or it will be only accessible for this add, it will not be accessible for the multiplication function. Then how we can access the restriction, how we can restrict the access of this sum variable? Is there any way? Because some there are different kind of variable in the program. Some variable will be accessed by
सर
some other,
sum को locally define कर देंगे.
but okay, that we can do really. Then I have another question, like sum you can do, but I am having a one query, that if I want to write one another function, division or a subtraction, def and a sub, that performing subtraction on two numbers a and b. Okay. Inside this subtraction, I want to access this sum variable. Then how you can perform? Yes, a minus b minus sum. Okay. Now print this c. Then how you can utilize this sum? Is it possible? Yes.
सर इंपोर्ट कर सकते हैं?
No. This here, if I'm printing it here c, then we will get an error inside this na, because this sum variable we have defined locally, we have not defined externally na. Then in this case we will get an error. Okay. Yes or not?
Yes, sir.
Yes sir.
So then how we can do it?
सर सर
एक-
सम को ग्लोबली
हाँ।
डिफाइन कर देंगे और जहाँ पर नहीं यूज
Understood.
हुआ उसकी कोई डिफॉल्ट सम की डिफॉल्ट वैल्यू डाल देंगे 1 या 0 कुछ.
नहीं, बट एक्चुअली अगर मैंने सम को यहाँ पे डिक्लेयर किया 10 के पास, तो अब सम, देन वी कैन यूटिलाइज दिस सम वेरिएबल इनसाइड दिस ऐड, सब्ट्रैक्शन एज वेल एज इन मल्टीप्लिकेशन. वी कैन यूटिलाइज इट. इज इट ओके ना? एक मिनट रिस्टार्ट करने दो मेरे को. सब वी आर कॉलिंग हियर सब. Okay na? And a comma b. So you can see we are getting minus 11. So we are able to call this sum everywhere na, but we want to restrict the access of the sum inside the multiplication. If any programmer write this sum inside this multiplication, then he will get an error. Then how we can do it actually? That I am asking. How we can do? Is there any way? No. In the procedural oriented programming, there is a no such way. In the procedure oriented programming, data remain global data can be accessed by any of the function. in the program. Everywhere it can be accessed. Global member can be accessed anywhere in the program. So in order to make the restriction for accessing or some other things, we are doing with the object oriented programming, where what we have to do, where the two things are there, na, data and function. Okay, if you want to restrict the access of this data in some other function, and we want to we want to allow the access of this data in some specific function, like there is a different function f1, f2, f3, f4, or there are two data member d1 and d2. D1 is only accessible with f1 and f2, and D2 is only accessible with f3 and f3. So what we can do, we can create a one unit, like where we can keep D1 and f with f1 and f2, and D2 with f3 and f4. Okay, so two unit we can create. Then in this case, one whatever the access we are allow for this f1, f2 for this data member, then in this case D2 is not allowed, or D2 is not accessible with this f3 and f4. So that creation of this unit, it is called as object in this object oriented programming, where we are wrapping a data and function into a single unit. So this unit is basically called as class. So we can create a different instance of this class, or different instance with some different value. So these instances can be stored in some memory at different places, where we can store the same kind of data at different places. So these different instances is basically called as object. Okay, like for the example of student, in the student class or student, what is the things that you want to store for the student? What is the things that you want to store as a value? Like name of the student, okay, second roll number of the student, okay, or maybe year or branch, whatever other things you can do. I am taking example of two things here, है ना? These are the data values of the students, है ना? We want to perform some operation on these data values using some function. So we have to access these values inside the some function. So suppose I'm writing two function like get marks or get name function, or whatever the other function we can write, है ना? So there will be some function like show function and get function. Get will take the value or will assign the value to these variable, or perform some read operation for this value, and the show function will fetch the value of this variable and display this value. So two things we want to do for a student, this student entity. Okay, so in this case you can see this whole block basically considered as a one student. Okay, if I'm storing here name like Amit, okay, and roll number I'm providing 101 or 2, whatever, and then we are defining some method for this. Okay, so one entity of this block we are creating, which having a different value like Amit 101, and another entity I'm creating Anil, what value is different, like here I'm providing 102. So this same kind of entity we can create another other entity. Here you can see I'm providing here as a like 103. So here you can see three things we have created, three student instances we have created, all are the student, है ना? But here you can see all the entities, all these students are having a different values. Okay, based on this different value we can create a different instances of the same entity or same block, whatever the same unit we call it as, है ना? So this is called as a basically object. Here it is a one object, it is a one object, it is a one object we are calling. Okay, so all group of these object will call it as a one class. So class is based on the common features of the object. All these object basic common feature of this object is student. All these are the students. So we are providing the name for this entity as a student, so we call it as a one class. Like we can also categorize here student class, like teacher is a class. So different entities we can create, or different classes we can create based on the some common behavior. Like teachers, like if I ask you, like person is a one class. Inside the person, if some specific feature I'm taking for the person, like person is studying, like studying in some college or schools, like then we can say this is a student. Okay, okay, or some person is teaching to some uh, person, other person, that we call it as a teacher. Okay, so we are mm, categorize this person into two classes: student class and teacher class. These student class and teacher class having a common behavior, that all the or common properties, that both are person. Okay, similarly we can divide this student again further in some other subclasses. Like you can see, student can have a different standard, like 10th standard student, or school student, or college students, like है ना, college student or student, or a school student. Okay, college, in the college we can further divide first year student and second year student, like that है ना. Branch wise we can also divide some based on the some common properties. We can group the two entities or two classes, or we can divide the one class into the subclasses. That we can do based on this some specific properties. Okay, so whenever we are moving from top to bottom, you can see, or top to down, you can see we are dividing one class into the subclasses based on specific properties. But when we are moving from bottom to up, you can see we are grouping what first year student or second year student, we are combining as a college student based on the some common property that they are studying in the college, so we are combining it. And then here you can see school students and college students, we are combining based on the some common property that all are student. So here based on the some common property, we are combining the two classes in a one class, so that is called generalization. We are going for generalization, है ना. So that term is called generalization, and that term is called specialization. Space that object in the object oriented programming, we generally use this term. Later you will realize what is the use of these terms, है ना. So here you can see this approach basically focused on these classes with different category, or for a one category you can create different instances. Like in the student, you can create different type of student by specifying different properties of that student. Properties means a value of that properties means here name will be different, roll number may be different, marks may be different. So based on this value of these properties, we can create different instances of this student. So basically object belonging a different instance or instance of any class. In general term we call it as an instance of any class. Okay, in real life we also call object any physical entity that have some attribute or some behavior. Attribute and some behavior. Okay, is it okay now? So attribute in programming is mapped with the data member. For the student, the attribute we are keeping it as a name, roll number, marks, etc. These are the attributes, so we are mapping with as a data member. And behavior, what the student will do, student will read or perform reading or writing, he or she will be doing, है ना. So based on this behavior we are considering the function, है ना. So reading or writing are the behavior of the function that can be mapped with the function in the programming. Okay, so here we are showing show and get as a function. So in the programming we are showing behavior as a function and attributes or features or properties as with the as a data members. Okay, so object oriented programming mostly mapped with the real life or real world work. Okay, it is similar to the real world work, है ना. Okay, so how we can do it in the actual implementation of this object in the programming. In order to do the exact implementation, we need to create a one class, then we have to utilize it, है ना. So we will see later these things, or you can realize the differences between procedure oriented object oriented programming. Here you can see in procedure oriented programming it is divided into small parts called functions, as we have shown, है ना. The object oriented programming, we divide the programs into the objects. Okay, it follows the top down approach. As you have seen, we have created a one procedure main, and the main we have created add procedure, and then add, inside the add we can create some other sub procedure to perform some basic some sub operations, है ना? So it is following top down approach while executing. But in the object oriented programming, we need to first focus on creation of the object. Then object will do the different calling for some procedures. Then object is a small entity in the object oriented programming. That's why we call it as a bottom up approach in the object oriented programming. Okay. Here in the procedure oriented programming, we have seen one example of data. That data is not secure in the procedure oriented programming, as data can be accessed by any function in the program, or global data can be accessed by any function of the program. But in the object oriented programming, it is not possible, है ना? Whatever the data associated with whatever the object, that only can access the specified data. Other objects cannot access, है ना? We can prevent it. Okay. Some other feature of the object oriented programming, that encapsulation. We can keep a data in a one place with a functions. Okay. Whereas in the case of object procedure oriented programming, data moves around the function to function, है ना? Second thing, the object oriented programming also provide overloading. We will see what is overloading. Okay, so that is a case of polymorphism, है ना? Polymorphism, we will see later the all these things, है ना? Polymorphism, inheritance. So basic features of this data abstraction, inheritance. So basic different kind of features are provided by the object oriented programming that are not supported by the procedure oriented programming. So we will see these features. Implementation, we will also see what is the meaning of these features, we will see, and then we will also implement with the programming. Okay. So these are the features of the object oriented programming. Better able to create GUI, graphical user interface. It is very easy to create graphical user interface using object oriented programming. किसी ने tkinter पढ़ा है?
Yes, sir.
So whenever you are calling the method of the tkinter, you have utilized like dots like that something. Sometimes you have called the method of a string like s dot sort. ऐसा किया था? If sometimes you have to use na s dot sort, s dot something, है ना? What is the meaning of this? ऐसा देखा ना, s dot replace string का method देखा था, देखा था? So what is the meaning? Why we
calling
are
the class,
calling the
class from the module.
We're calling the function inside the class.
That
अभी हमने क्लास बनाई नहीं है, लेकिन इसका मीनिंग क्या है अभी थोड़ी देर बाद आपको क्लियर हो जाएगा. चलो अभी देखते हैं, कोई बात नहीं है, ठीक है. ओके, डोंट वरी. Okay, so there are several features you will realize the object of the object oriented programming. Okay, so the fundamental features that we have to see in the encapsulation, data abstraction, inheritance, polymorphism. These are the basic features of the, and apart from this, it support for the class and object. Okay, so these are the basic features that are supported by the object oriented programming. Polymorphism के भी type होते हैं, overloading of overriding, that we will see later, है ना? Okay, so how we have to define a class and how we have to create a object, that we have to realize here in the first class basically, है ना? So you can see how we can create a class. Class basically work with the real life entity that you can consider. Then you have to map the behavior of that entity as a method, है ना? And attributes of the entity that you have to map as a field or data values in the class. Okay, so while creating the object, you need to create the instance for that class. Okay, that instance will work as a object. So how we can do it, that you can see later. Just I'm skipping these things, hai na? So I'm just directly coming on the example. Like here, one example is given: object attributes, object methods for the driver class. Like if it is a for the taxi, for the taxi. So taxi is a one class. Okay, for the taxi, whatever the properties, so who is the driver of the taxi, or taxi is on duty or not. Okay, number of passengers that can occupied by the taxi, location where the taxi is here, है ना? So these are the features for the taxi that can be considered as a data member. Similarly, features, apart from the feature, there is a behavior of the taxi, that can be mapped as a function like pick up, drop off, go on duty, go off duty. These kind of behavior we can consider for the implementation, है ना? Similarly, you can consider as a fan. Fan is one real life object, na? So what are the attributes of the fan? Like brand, okay, yes, color, okay, it is a type, ceiling fan or table fan, like. And what is the feature, what is the behavior of the fan? That is rotating, okay, okay, okay. So based on these features or
Yes,
based
sir.
on this behavior, we can create or we can map this real life entity with the programming. So feature can be mapped as a data member and behavior can be mapped as a function, okay. So if you want to know the this I will explain later. First of all, I want to explain how we have to create a class, how we can do it. So just I want to show one with the one exercise, okay. Okay, so in order to create a class, the general syntax you have to follow. So syntax I'm showing and directly I'm creating. This is syntax, general syntax to create a one class. You can see, first of all, you have to specify the class. It is a one keyword. It is a one keyword. And then you have to specify the class name. Sorry, it is a one keyword class, and then this is a class name. Whatever the name you want to give for the class. For the student example, you can define like class. This is small c, so it is a keyword, and the student, this is a class name, okay. Then you have to put bracket. This is an optional part that I am specifying it. It will be applicable in case of inheritance. We will see later the use of this, so I'm skipping here. Now you want to use the data members. How many data members you want to define in the class? Then you can define like name. Initially you can keep it as a blank, okay. Name, roll number you can use, okay. Initially I'm providing it as a blank, as it may be string, okay. Marks, okay. Marks you can keep like 0.0. I'm keeping it as a so these three data members I've created, okay. Okay, similarly you can define the function like get, one function you can define like get marks def or get marks, okay. Definition I will mention later, and show marks.
Sir, but these are all private, na?
नहीं, प्राइवेट वगैरह ये क्या होता है, चलो लेटर वी विल सी इट. Currently I am not talking about it, okay, because just currently I am focusing on understanding of the class or object, what is it, है ना. Then we will focus on the other things later, है ना. Okay, these are not private actually currently, है ना. We will discuss
Okay,
what
sir.
is private or what is public or all these things later, है ना. Okay,
sir.
so these things I have to create. Now how we can store this value in this members, or how we can use these functions, that we have to see. So I'm showing one example here. If you want to define a class, like, so first of all you have to create class, then you have to create the name of the class, student, okay. Then you have to assign the data members name, okay. And then I'm taking marks. roll number मैं नहीं ले रहा हूं अभी, ठीक है. Marks को if I'm assigning it as a 0.0, so it will work as a float, okay. Now I'm creating a function def get marks or get information, like that, है ना, get info, that I'm creating, okay. So if you want to take input for these values name or mark, that you can specify the definition inside the get input function, or you can pass these as an argument, like I can pass as argument a or n comma m, okay. Now if you want to assign this value inside this name or marks, then you have to use one parameter, one specific arguments called self. What is self? We will later see it, okay, na. Name equals to n, okay. Self dot marks, is equals to m. So whenever you are writing this, then you need to also pass this self inside this function self. Okay, so self is a fixed type of argument that you have to use whenever you are using this class variable. These are the two members of the class, that whenever you are using inside this function, then you need to use this self. Okay, similarly now I am just using show function, show information, def show info. Okay, so this is a function. The work of this function I am defining, just display the information of the student. Print, then I have to pass this self because I want to print this name or marks. So self, and then here I have to write self dot name. Okay, and then I have to write self dot marks. Okay, now I have created this class. Now next task is to create the object of this class to access this functions as well as members. Okay, so how we can create object? Actually we have to write here like s1 equals to student. Okay, then inside this student you can just write here. Okay, now you have to call this get information function. So get information, so what will happen actually first at this line? If I'm writing this line, then what will happen at this line? If I'm writing, तो ये line बहुत important है. If I'm writing s1 equals to student, ये क्लास मैंने लिख दिया सारा का सारा यहाँ तक, ये complete code लिख दिया इतना. After this I am writing a one line s1 equals to student. So what will happen at this line? As this student, it will be calling, we are calling it as a one method, na? You can see we are calling student and parenthesis. So it means we are calling one method. As parenthesis, whenever parenthesis is specified, that means we are calling a one method. So as you can see in this program, we have not defined any this such kind of method student. So how it will be called? As here student class we have defined, so we can call this student method as a default every time. If we have defined a class, then we can call this method as a every time. Okay, so that is allowed in the object oriented programming. So what is this method? We will talk later. Just what will happen at this line, that we are discussing here. Okay, so what will happen at this line? At this line, one memory block is created in the computer. Okay, in this memory there will be a two field, basically one for data member and another one for function. Inside the function, two things will be stored in that: get info and show info. These are the part of the function. Another one are the part of the data member. So these are the data member name and roll number. So what is the value of this name or roll number when this memory will be created? So there will be a two field. So I'm erasing it from here. So I'm creating two field in this block. So one is for name, another one for roll, another one for marks. Okay. So in the name field, whatever the initial value we have provided while creating the class, that value will be stored. So here blank or empty things, empty string is stored here. Here you can see marks we have stored 0.0. So this memory block will be created, and what is the reference to this memory? It will be assigned to this S1. So S1 pointing this memory. Okay, like in the list, if I'm writing L1 and here I'm writing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like. So one memory will be created in the list 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All these things is stored, and the reference to this block is stored in this L1. Similar thing is happen here. So here it is actually, this memory block is actually called it as a object. So in technically, if I ask you what is object, then basically we can say object is an instance of the class, or it is an entity which have some properties of behavior or attributes and have some functions, or we can say behavior, है ना? So this is an object, but in the real programming we call it as a memory block, where we can store the data member as well as function. Okay, so this block is called object, and this block is referenced by this S1. So S1, it is a reference to this memory block, but this memory block is object, and the type of this object, whatever the class we have created, this is a type of that object. You can see. Is it okay? Okay na? So this S1 is just a reference to this memory block. Okay. Similarly, like X, I store X is a 10. So 10 is a memory block where 10 is stored, and X is just a reference to this block. Similarly, object is whatever the value we are storing, that is an object. That memory block is called as object, and the S1 is a reference. So here S1 is called as an instance. We generally call it as a instance. Similar kind of different instances we can create in the program. Okay. So you can see here we have created this instance. If you want to know the value of this instance, so you can access these member. Like if you want to access this name, so you can directly write print s1 dot name. याद आ गया? That's why we need to write like print s1 dot marks. So marks variable मिल जाएगा. Similarly, if you want to call this function, so you can call print, और print नहीं directly call कर सकते हो s1 dot whatever we are writing here, get info. Get info requires some argument, so you need to pass here argument while calling this get info. Similarly, अब याद करो जब लिस्ट को आपने क्रिएट किया था, लिस्ट के कुछ फंक्शन यूज किए थे. You have used some functions of the list like L1 dot sort or L1 dot some other functions you have used. So as this sort function is defined in the list class, that's why you are able to use this sort function. If you want to know the information of the list class, then you can know, you can see later, है ना? अभी मैं show कर दूंगा, ठीक है? तो you can utilize these functions in some way. Like here you can see, I'm calling the function, I'm calling just directly the members print. I'm printing the value of this s1 dot name. Initial value मैंने blank दिया है, आप देख सकते हो क्या आ रहा है, blank आ रहा है, कुछ नहीं आ रहा है. Similarly, you can call s1 dot marks. Marks में 0.0 दिया है, you can see 0.0. It is showing here. Okay. If you want to store the value in these members, you can store it like s1 dot name equals to hello. Then value will be assigned. Then if you are printing here, then you can see hello 0.0. As you have not changed the value of marks, then you have not, you are getting 0 default value s1 dot marks. Okay, you can store there 78.9 like that, है ना? So you can see 78.9. Okay, these value can also be changed by using this function. So you can also do it like here. You can see I'm calling s1 dot get info, है ना? I'm calling this function. Now I want to pass two arguments inside this function, so I can pass Amit. Okay, and then you can see I'm passing 85.5 as a marks. Okay, okay, so you can see I have changed this value. Now I want to print this value later. So one way to print, you can utilize this directly s1 dot name, or one way to print, you can utilize this show function to print this value. So you can also call this value like s1 dot show info. Directly it will show the value. So there is no need to display or use this value directly. Every time if you want to print, you can utilize this show function. For the default value, you can utilize, you can see 0.0, or after initializing this value, you can utilize. So whenever you want to perform any operation, basically in object-oriented programming says that instead of using like here s1 dot show information, s1 dot name, s1 dot name equals to hello, or s1 dot marks equals to 78.9, instead of using it, you need to use show info, both get info. As get information is a function that is basically utilizing for storing or change or updating the value of these data member. You can see, है ना? You are getting default. Now you can create different another entity s2. I'm creating s2, मैंने create किया, आप देख सकते हो. Now I'm writing here S2, and I'm writing same thing here. About second object will be created. So S1 dot show information, S2 dot show information, you can see that will show blank. देखो S1 का चेंज कर दिया तो यहाँ पे दिख रहा है S1 है ना, ये S1 का, जस्ट अ मिनट, एक आर्गुमेंट पास कर दिया ना। ठीक है ना, शो इन्फॉर्मेशन में मैं दिखा रहा हूँ S1 का शो हो रहा है। इज इट ओके? ओके, सिमिलरली यू कैन शो फॉर द S2 का चेंज कर सकते हो, S2 का दिखा सकते हो। ओके, सो आई एम परफॉर्मिंग हियर S1 instead of S1 we are writing S2. So here I am writing you can see S2 dot show information, it will show the value of S2, so you can see. Is it okay? So different kind of objects you can create. Similarly, so third you can create, fourth you can create, है ना, by specifying different values. So the class or object programming, object oriented programming, the use of object oriented programming is very effective in while storing the information of different kind of variables in a group. How we can store the information in a one single group, that is not possible earlier, but here you can do it easily. Multiple student, मैंने आपसे कहा कि you need to write a program where you have to store the information of 100 students. Okay, and inside this 100 student different attributes you can use, है ना, different function you can utilize to perform the operation on the data member. Okay, now if I ask you to sort the student in ascending order of their marks, so you can write a sort function that can sort the student information. So here you can create the list of students, है ना, S1 S2, you can keep the S1 S2 in the list. Here 2 I have created now, so you can create more number of students, 2 3 4, or you can store them in the list. Okay, as I can store here, I can create L1 or list, and here I can store the value of S1 store कर दिया, S2 store कर दिया, है ना. Then what you can do, instead of calling this or you want to store this information in this list, then you can see मैंने क्रिएट किया और लिस्ट में स्टोर कर दिया. ऐसे क्रिएट कर सकता हूँ, लूप लगा दूंगा तो बहुत सारे जितने चाहो उतने क्रिएट हो जाएंगे. इज इट ओके? ओके, so you can create multiple students and then you can store in the list and then you can access the list by one. जैसे मैंने यहाँ पे S1 dot show किया है, I can print it like L1 और S1 dot show, ऐसा लिखा था ना, तो ये आ जाएगा. Is it okay? Similarly you can write here for L2, sorry, S2. What is the value for S1? It is 0 index and it is for 1 index. Okay ना, यही था. 0 पे कौन आएगा? S1. 1 पे कौन आएगा? S2. Okay, so you can see आ रहा है. Okay, तो लिस्ट क्रिएट कर सकते, you can do it. Okay, so here what is the meaning of self or what is it? So you can see what is self. Self is basically, it is a reference to the calling object. Here you can see S1 को हम कॉल कर रहे हैं, we are calling this get information with the S1, then this self function is automatic or self argument will automatically be treated as a S1. If I'm calling this get information function with S2, then self will be automatically treated as a S2. So S2, instead of self, you can write here S2 or you can assume here it as a S2. So S2 dot name, S2 dot marks, so automatically the location of S2 will be used. Okay, so as self will work as a the current calling object. Okay, is it okay ना?
Yes, sir.
है ना. तो यहाँ पे
Yes.
कुछ क्वेश्चन, but there is a no need to pass self external. Here you can see two argument we have passed, but here self is another argument. We have not passed any value for the self. Self will be treated as S1 and S2. If I am calling this get information with S1, then it will be treated as S1. And if I am calling it with S2, then it will be treated as S2. Similar thing is happen with show information. Okay. So self is a mandatory argument when we are accessing the class variable. Okay, if you are not using self, then this cannot be done. It will show an error. Okay. Here you can see whenever you are writing a code, suppose I do not write this function, then how you can change the value of this variable, name or marks or whatever the variable. You cannot change. You need to access like s1.name, s1.marks, then you can change. But object oriented programming suggests sometimes these members will not be accessible outside the class, or the member of the class can only access the member of the class. It means whatever the data member are there, these data member only be accessible through the function of the class. These data member cannot be accessible directly with the instance of the class. So this is a basic rules of the object oriented programming that we will see later. Okay, now so in this case we cannot access this member with this dot name, s1 dot name abhi likha tha na, then we will not be allowed to write s1 dot name directly. Then in this case we will get an error. So how we can change the value of these members? So in this case it is mentioned that when you want to store the initial, or you want to initialize this member, there is a one way to write one approach is given, that is init function is specified in the object oriented programming in Python, है ना? So init function basically used as a one method and a special method to initialize the class member. So I am writing it as here this same question I'm writing with the init method. So in this case there is a no need to write separate method get information here. Instead of, you need to write init है ना, डबल स्लैश लगाना पड़ेगा. init ये है लिखा. ओके, दिस इज स्पेशल मेथड. तो आप यहाँ पे ये भी नहीं डिफाइन करते हो तो भी कोई जरूरत नहीं है, या आप ऐसे भी लिख सकते हो सेल्फ नेम सेल्फ मार्क्स. इनिट के अंदर जो जो आएगा वो ऑटोमेटिकली क्लास का वेरिएबल बन जाएगा, जरूरत नहीं है. ये आप कमेंट भी कर सकते हो, है ना. सो आई एम जस्ट, ठीक है, वी हैव नॉट प्रोवाइडेड एनी इनिशियल वैल्यू. So whatever the value we are providing here while creating the object, so whenever we are calling this student, and in this case we need to pass here one argument or two argument that we have defined in the init function. So instead of get information we need to write here s1 equals to student. Okay, that you can do s2 student. पहले स्टूडेंट लिखा था ब्लैंक बॉडी के साथ में. Here now we have written this student with the two arguments. So but no function we have defined with two arguments, but init function will be treated as a student function automatically. So in this object oriented programming, when we are writing a function with the same name of the same with the same name as a class name, then this function will be treated as a constructor function in the object oriented programming. Okay, so here student function we have not defined, but this init function we have defined with two arguments. So when we are calling this student, so at this line this init function will be executed automatically. So whatever the value we are passing this init function, that will be passed into this class variables, and then when we are going to print this as s1, then you will get the value assigned with the s1. So s1 dot show info. Okay, it will print the value. Just student is not defined. Okay, you can see s1 का दिख रहा है. Similarly you can s2. Okay, so constructor function always use होता है whenever we are writing object oriented programming code, है ना? So in the here, so self is a one special first argument self in all method definition which gets bound to the calling instance. So if s1 is calling, then it will be work as a s1. If it s2 is calling, then it will be work as a s2. Okay, so there will be usually a special method that is called init in the most classes, so that will work as a constructor function. So here the student example is given here. Here you can see. Okay, so this is a class and the name of the class, and then init function is defined, and here I have defined here two arguments, full name and age. These are the two argument of the class or two data member of this class. And get age is the one method we have defined that when we are calling this function, so whatever the age associated with the s1, that will be written by this student. Okay, so you can see that you can also write like only I want to display the marks. Then how you can write def get marks. I'm writing and I'm writing here self or return self dot marks, है ना? So self you need to pass inside this function, then you can print directly the marks. Print okay, s1 के मार्क्स चाहिए, s1 डॉट गेट मार्क्स. ओके, so s1 के मार्क्स आ जाएंगे. s1 का मार्क्स कितना दिया 85, तो s1 का मार्क्स आ रहा है. तो automatically whenever we are calling this get marks with s2, then automatically marks of s2 will be displayed. You can see वही same function है, but it is returning different values. You can see. So self will be basically working with the calling object. Whenever we are calling this method with the s1, then it will be worked as a s1, or if we are calling this method with s2, then it will be working as a s2. Okay, now I am telling you that whatever the members we have declared inside this class, we can create another class. एक कोई other और दूसरी class create कर सकते हो आप. In that class we cannot utilize these members. So suppose some method मैंने आपसे कहा था ना, I've told you that I want to prevent the access of some variable inside some other methods. So we can create another class where एक sample class मैंने create किया sample. Inside the sample class I have created one method show info. Okay, so show info. I want to access this name like self है ना, return or print, same definition I'm writing here ना. I want to access this name or information inside this class, inside this show information method, है ना. Can we utilize it? We have to check it. So I'm creating one object of sample class s a equals to sample. Okay, sample का ये ऐसे ऑब्जेक्ट बनाते हैं sample, and then you have to write class name then blank. As here no init method is specified, then you can create blank. Otherwise you need to specify the argument. Here you can see I have specified init method, then we cannot specify blank. In this case you need to specify the argument, but inside this no init method, then you have to specify blank. Then it is called default constructor, है ना. It is called parameterized constructor as we are passing parameter. Okay, now I want to call sa dot show info, है ना. info हो या डिस्प्ले हो, चलो यहाँ पर डिस्प्ले बना दो, सो इन्फो की जगह शो अकेला बना दो, कोई दिक्कत नहीं है ना. So this method cannot access. So you can see here we are getting error. Here you can see sample object has no attribute name, as we are accessing name inside this method, but you cannot utilize this name. Okay, so we can restrict it, है ना. That is not possible inside the procedure oriented programming, है ना. Okay, so this thing is now happen. So you can see Now next class we will continue from the next thing or from further from this. Okay, so here if you have any query then please ask me. Anyone having any query here?